Guys, welcome to the show today. It's gun season in Ohio. We're going to take you through that, and we're also going to jump into muzzleloader season a little bit this week. We're going to try our best to catch up with a deer that we've been calling Big Sexy.
Train a coon dog to run. Told me, son, never take more than what you need. And always live your life by the hunter's creed. Boy, don't take that shot unless you're sure it's going down. Boys, you know this dog will hunt.
Well, guys, we had some characters in camp gun week, and Travis Sheets is one of the guys in camp. Well, day 5 rolls around, and Travis, he finally gets a glimpse at something other than a squirrel. You guys check him out.
I'm gonna grab hold of it. I ain't had a hand on it.
Get your hand on one there.
It feels like I never felt an Ohio one. I know. There's some nice bases on him.
Travis Sheets up here at Trophy Room Adventures, Adams County, Ohio. Day 5, last day of the hunt. Put down a pretty nice 7-pointer here, big brow tines. About 5:15 this evening. Come out by himself. And I want to thank Scott and everybody else here helping me out and finally putting me on one. It's been a long week for me. I think I was the roughest one here, so they finally put me on one this evening.
Now, Joe Horner, he's in camp with us this week also, and he's hunted hard all week, and he's had some encounters, but he hadn't been able to make a connection, so he decides that there's 2 days left of gun season, and he wants to stay over beyond his 5 days, and he wants to hunt those last 2 days, give it every chance possible. And as luck would have it, on the last day, things worked out for Joe.
Well, I see you right there. I want you to look at this. I'm telling you. That's a dandy of a deer right there. Here, let's give him those lights. Get down there with him. He's pretty. Let me see what's up. That's the one that
showed up in the left hole that Alex could have killed.
yeah. That's a pretty sucker, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Joe Horner from Virginia.
How you doing, Scott?
Good, buddy.
You doing all right, buddy?
I'm doing better now.
We was beginning to wonder what.
Yeah.
We'll set that up there. Teddy Roosevelt's favorite cartridge. Folks, we're at Trophy Room Adventures, Highland County, Ohio, and we got us a nice 8-point this evening. Been a tough week of hunting, but the deer are here. Great people, great accommodations, lots of good land. I will be back. A bunch of us come up from Virginia and had a great time, and just can't say enough about it. Just hunting's hunting, but they are appearing. They appear on camera every day at some point and just been the right place, the right time's all it's about. So anyway, I'm happy and heading home. Like I say, full moon, 65, 70 degrees during the day doesn't make for the best time, but we stuck with it, and here he is, so that's what counts.
You know, when you come hunting with us here at Trophy Room Adventures, we try to make friendships. So you're not just a client to us. We try to make you feel like you're part of the family. And this next guy, he hunted with us year before last, Joe Wood, and you know, we made a great friendship with Joe. He had some encounters the first time he was with us. He actually got a shot off with his bow and completely missed. But we'll pick on Joe a little bit about that here in a minute. But he come back with us last year and was able to get it done during muzzleloader season.
5 years coming out to Ohio, skunked every time until I hooked up with these guys. They did everything they said they were going to do. They delivered. Trophy Room Adventures Outdoor, folks. Highly recommend them. Come on out to Ohio.
Well, guys, if y'all been following the show at all, you know that we've been after a deer all year up here. We've nicknamed Big Sexy. Now, Big Sexy, we've had lots of encounters with him. We actually had a bow hunter first week of season that got an arrow in Big Sexy. Didn't make a kill shot on the deer, and he survived. He came back 2 weeks later. He's right back where he was, just like nothing had ever happened. Season goes on. We counted it up. In all, we had 12 different encounters with this deer we call Big Sexy. It just seemed like he had a charmed life, and it wasn't meant for us to take this deer. Muzzleloader season rolls in. It's kind of our last chance to try to harvest this deer. So Jeremy Dawson's in camp with us. He's came in, and his good friend, we call him Possum. His name's Bobby, but we call him Possum. We put those guys in the 2 stands that Big Sexy have been coming into real regular in the last 3 or 4 days, and we decided we're going to leave them there all week. Well, now day 1 comes in, and Possum is sitting in Austin's plot. He has an encounter with Big Sexy, sure enough. So now we're up to 13 encounters. Big Sexy was about 150 yards away, and he's sitting there with his muzzleloader, and you know, he feels good making that shot, but Big Sexy just wouldn't be still. He just kept on going and wouldn't give Possum a shot. So they come back to camp, head back out the next day, and it's Jeremy's turn. We're looking for Big Sexy again.
Take 2.
This time, me and Jeremy, they're the ones that's nervous.
That's what I said.
There's more blood right there, and they got to aim the whole first time they shot.
Yeah. So what do you think there? Well, this is where he fell. The last blood we got.
Jump over that log. We come around.
He come around it. It's out of blood.
Oh, that's definitely blood right there. He fell again right there, it looks like.
Definitely gone.
Yeah. Which side did you shoot him at?
Shot him on the right side. That would be his left side.
This
That
should be
would
his
be
right, so
side.
he's pouring out the left.
He's coming out the left.
That's a pass, dude. He's coming right here, this blood.
I can see blood up there.
He's turning, going back to the left now. Now we decided we're going to start in tracking Big Sexy, and where he fell, naturally there was a big pile of blood there, and it all looked real well, and we thought, all right, you know, this is going to be easy to find. The further we went along tracking, the less blood we were finding. And if you've ever tracked a deer before, you can tell a lot by what kind of blood you're getting and how it's coming, when it's coming, which side he's coming from. If you just pay attention, there's a lot to learn by following a blood trail. And we're following this blood trail, and it gets down to little drops here and there, and then we'll find it. We go 30, 40 yards, and we'll find another good sized spot of blood. Just keep tracking back to little spots, then another good sized spot of blood. And we figure out that, you know, well, he's walking along, and everywhere there's a good spot of blood, he's standing there and he's waiting. And things just weren't adding up real well. Jeremy said he shot the deer in the right side. the blood seems to be coming from the left side of the deer, hardly anything from the right side. So we're all drawing our own conclusions about what's happened, and before you know it, we keep tracking on down the trail and we find a piece of bone.
All leg bone.
I don't know. It's just a piece of it though, I think. I mean, it's come off of a bigger bone. Because it's...
But he was on all fours when he went up there. He wasn't limping.
Well guys, we done been about 300 yards. He's still going. Trying to figure out which way he went. See what happens.
We're gonna change his name to the deer that just won't die. Well, now we gotta make a decision. It's second day of muzzleloader season. There's snow on the ground. They're calling for 6 to 8 inches of snow to fall that night. It's getting on up in the night. It's 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we got to make a decision. Do we want to keep going after Big Sexy here, or do we want to back out and wait till tomorrow and hope we can find him just by doing a grid search? Because according to the weatherman, all the signs are going to be covered up by morning. So we decided we need to push on just a little further, and we go just a little bit further, and we ended up going about 400 yards that night, and found another spot where he'd stopped and stood, and then he took off again. And I finally made the decision, made the call. I said, guys, we got to get out of here. I said, snow or no snow, it don't matter. This deer's, if we keep going, we're just going to keep pushing this deer, and he's never going to stop. Now, I don't know how many of you guys use the app Hunt Stand on your phone. And now, they're not a sponsor of the show. They ain't paying me to say this or anything like that. But the whole time I'm looking at my phone, and I'm looking at where this deer was and where he's trying to get to. And there's a little narrow finger of woods that we're in at the moment, tracking Big Sexy. On up ahead, there's a cedar thicket and a pond. And I'm thinking, you know, if I was a hurt deer, I'd be wanting to go to this cedar thicket. So we make the decision to back out and come up with a plan to get back in there tomorrow and look for this deer. And I sent Jeremy down by himself, and I wanted to look around this pond and this cedar thicket. I take the other guys, Jesse, Casey, and Donut, on up to the other end of this little finger that comes up through, and I put them out, and I'm going to have them spread out and walk down through this little finger of woods. It's only a couple hundred yards wide. Hopefully, if Big Sexy's still alive, he'll get up, he'll run, go down that finger, Jeremy will get another shot at him. Well, sure enough, I let everybody out. I go back to the house, and hadn't no more got back to the camp, and my phone rings, and it's Jesse. Jesse says, Jeremy just shot. And sure enough, things worked out. You know, it could have happened anyway. Anything could have happened, but just so happens that our plan worked out really well. Jeremy got down where he could see all the way across this ravine, and sure enough, Big Sexy's laying in the creek down there. He gets up, starts up the hill on the other side. Jeremy gets a good shot on him, about 100 yards, and he puts a really good shot on him, and finally, Big Sexy's on the ground, and we're gonna get our hands on him.
Hey guys, we're trying to walk up and find our hunter here. We're looking for Big Sexy. He found the deer and shot him again, so we finding him, and hopefully we're gonna get the deer this time. Y'all stick with us for a minute, let's find out. What do you think, Donut?
We got him this time, hopefully. It's my baby boy. He's baby baby.
Guys, there's blood everywhere right here.
Oh, get that.
A lot of blood, fellas, a lot of blood. I see antlers, boys. I see antlers. Hey boy, how you feeling? Y'all look at this deer right here. Look at this deer.
Hello?
Look at that deer, guys.
Hey,
We got him.
what are you doing?
That's the deer. And that's the man.
We're looking at him right now, putting our hands on him.
We're talking to boss man to get him out here.
I'm being dead
We'll
serious.
get you a little interview with him.
He's a lot pretty. He's a lot pretty looking at right here, touching him in person.
Today's January the 8th. We're hunting with Trophy Room Adventures in Ohio. Last night, this buck come in on trail. I was hunting the back plot, and it was about 40 yards uphill. Being from North Carolina, we don't shoot deer uphill, and I hit him low in the chest. Broke his front leg. So we trailed blood last night until about 10 o'clock. We stopped and decided to back out and come back in today and do a grid search. There was a big cedar. Scott knew where there was a big cedar thicket and decided, he said, I want you to go in there and I want you to look through that cedar thicket. Then come out on the hill, there's a ravine. There's a little creek that runs up through the ravine. Just looked real good on the side of that hill. I looked through the cedar thicket, didn't see anything. Thinking the coyotes may have got a hold of him last night. Looking for blood, signs of hair, anything. And I didn't find anything in the cedar thicket. Hopes got kind of thin then. I started down the side of the field, looking in the ravine, scanning with the binoculars. And I heard something in the bottom of the ravine break a limb, and I looked, and there he was. He stood up out of the creek bed. I had my muzzleloader with me. He turned and was going away from me up the hill, kind of quartering away. I propped up against a tree and shot him again, and he went about 30 yards and piled up. I want to thank Jesse, Donut, and Casey. We looked last night. Casey's a bloodhound now, I'm going to tell you. That boy, he's got eyes. Woo, son, he's good. But thanks to these guys and their work, we prevailed today. And thank God for letting us have the chance to hunt and take animals like this and to provide these creatures on the earth where we have the opportunity to do this. Thank these guys for all they've done this year, scouting, feeding. They've done a tremendous job.
Guys, we were blessed enough to help Jeremy get on Big Sexy and harvest this deer, and that's what we do here at Trophy Room Adventures. I've had some guys tell me, hey, you've got a TV show, you're not going to put me on a big buck, you're going to kill the big buck yourself so you can make a TV show out of it. That's not what we're about here at Trophy Room Adventures. Look back through our episodes this year, see how many big bucks the TRA gang killed. 0. We spent all our time trying to get you guys on these big bucks. We want you guys to harvest these deer because that's what we're all about at TRA. I've harvested some good deer, been fortunate enough. Most of the guys working for me have harvested some good deer. We want to help you guys get on the buck of a lifetime, and we'd love to get it on film if possible. A lot of times it don't work out, which you saw today. We didn't get any of these deer on film, but we got the deer, and that's what counts at the end of the day. So hit us up, guys. Come on up. We'll help you guys out. We'll try to get you on one of these bucks, and we'll have a good time, I promise you. thank you, Jeremy, for ending a long journey here, us trying to get a hold of this deer. We appreciate you, brother.
Oh, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. If you guys want to come up to Ohio and hunt with us here at Trophy Room Adventures, just look us up, www.trophyroomadventures.com. Write us a note, send us a letter, email, whatever you want to do, text message. Get a hold of us and we'll try to get you guys on one of these. Thank y'all for watching.
That's what we do at TWR.
Well, we freaking grinding! Woohoo!
There you go, baby!
There it is, right
Don't move! Quiet on the set, you're hot.
I know I am.
Alright, here we go.
Gotta get nose uneven. Gotta get it just right. Okay. Alright. Where he got his name from, I looked at him on the darn computer. I said, oh my God, that's Big Sexy right there. And then after that, we've been trying to hunt this son of a gun been wanting this deer on the ground. This is my baby boy right here. I've been wanting him dead for a long time. But,
Here at TRA, you have a lot of fun. See y'all later. Bye.